Hey guys, so I said I would do a music theory lesson before I left, and this is going to be a very easy lesson, and it kind of ties into what we're talking about, which is punk rock music. Now, punk is characteristically defined as music with very simple chord progressions and very few chord progressions. Like, the average is 3 chords per song. And by chords, I'm talking, of course, about power chords. So not really chords, but in the sense of rock and roll, power chord is enough to be called a chord. Whatever. Point being is that I said that there's a lot about punk that does away with, traditional music theory, which is true. But not always. Sometimes you will find a punk song that follows some basic form of music theory. And by some basic form, I mean, just literal theoretical chord movements that make complete and total sense. And this is a simple 3-chord progression that you see all the time in blues, but you also see it pop up a fair amount in punk rock, and especially in punk rock that's based around the blues. In some instances, you'll see it in psychobilly, and I believe there's also a subgenre called blues punk. But the chord progression is quite simple. A 12-bar blues is constituted as 4 measures on the 1 chord. So if you have your key, we'll say B flat. So your 1 chord is, you take your scale, and your starting note is the key of the song. So starting note is B flat, that means the 1 chord. 4 measures of that. Then there's 2 measures of the 4 chord. So you take B flat, and B flat, C natural is 2, D natural is 3, and E flat is 4. The 4th scale degree of your major scale. And subsequently, it's also your 4th chord in the progression of B flat. So 4 measures of the 1 chord B flat, followed by 2 measures of the 4 chord E flat, followed by another 2 measures of the 1 chord. So we got 1 to 4 back to 1. That's a common music theory chord progression. And then the last 4 measures, because this is a 12-bar blues and we already are on measure 8. So the last 4 measures go like this. The 9th measure is the 5 chord, which is F. The 10th measure is E flat, and then the last 2 measures are B flat. So basically what I'm saying is that you will find this in a fair amount of punk songs, is that a 1-4-5 chord progression. Doesn't have to be in that 12-bar form like I just played out, just explained to you. It can be in any way that you want it to be. But 1-4-5, that chord progression, very, very common in music. It's one of the most common chord progressions in popular music. And yet it's an actual music theory, tried and true chord progression. So that's the theory lesson for today. And like I said in the video talking about, here are the proto-punk things that you need to listen to, and like I'll say in my tips and techniques video lesson, taking a week off, listen, go back and watch some other videos, go and do some research on your own, but enjoy the week that I'll be away to learn and grow and relax. It is summer after all.